Shri Radhe. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Radha Madhava Ki. Jai. Antara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Narang Cheva Narottamam Devim Sarasvatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashta Prayashva Badreshu Nityang Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavat Yuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavatir Naishtiki. So, we continue reading from the Holy Srimad Bhagavatam. We are in the 5th canto, chapter 14, text 43. The chapter is entitled The Forest of Enjoyment. Yo dushtya jandara sutan sudit rajyang hridi sprishaha ijaho yuveva malavat uttama shloka lalasaha. Yo dushtya jandara sutan Surit Rajyang Hridi Sprishaha Jaho Yuveva Malavat Uttama Shloka Lalasaha. Prabhus. Yodushtya Jandara Sutan Surit Rajyang Hridi Sprishaha Jaho Yuveva Malavat. Yodushtya Jandara Sutan Surit Rajyang Hridi Sprishaha Jaho Yuveva Malavat. Matajis. Yodushtya Jandara Sutan Surit Rajyang Hridi Sprishaha Jaho Yuveva Malavat Uttama Shloka Lalasaha. Okay, word for word translation. Yaha, the same Jada Bharat, who was formerly Maharaj Bharat, the son of Maharaj Rishabdev. Dushtyajan, very difficult to give up. Dara Sutan, the wife and children, or the most opulent family life. Surit, friends and well-wishers. Rajyam, a kingdom that extended all over the world. Hridi Sprishaha, that which is situated within the core of one's heart. Jaho, he gave up. Yuva Eva, even as a young man. Malavat, like stool. Uttama Shloka Lala Saha, who was so fond of serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead, known as Uttama Shloka. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. While in the prime of life, the great Maharaj Bharat gave up everything because he was fond of serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Uttama Shloka. He gave up his beautiful wife, nice children, great friends, and an enormous empire. Although these things were very difficult to give up, Maharaj Bharat was so exalted that he gave them up just as one gives up stool after evacuating. Such was the greatness of His Majesty. Purport. The name of God is Krishna, because He is so attractive that the pure devotee can give up everything within this material world on His behalf. Maharaj Bharat was an ideal king, instructor, and emperor of the world. He possessed all the opulences of the material world. But Krishna is so attractive that he attracted Maharaj Bharat from all his material possessions. Yet, somehow or other, the king became affectionate to a little deer and, falling from his position, had to accept the body of a deer in his next life. Due to Krishna's great mercy upon him, he could not forget his position and he could understand how he had fallen. Therefore, in the next life as Jada Bharat, Maharaj Bharat was careful not to spoil his energy, and therefore he presented himself as a deaf and dumb person. In this way, he could concentrate on his devotional service. We have to learn from the great King Bharat how to become cautious in cultivating Krishna consciousness. A little inattention will retard our devotional service for the time being. Yet any service rendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is never lost. Svalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahatobayat. Bhagavad Gita 2:40. A little devotional service rendered sincerely is a permanent asset. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.17, Tyaktva svadvarmam charanam bhujang harer bhajan apakvo tapatet tato yadi yatra kvava badram abut amushya king ko varta apto bhajatang svadharmataha. Somehow or other, if one is attracted to Krishna, whatever he does in devotional service is a permanent asset. Even if one falls down due to immaturity or bad association, his devotional assets are never lost. There are many examples of this: Ajamir, Maharaj Bharat, and many others. This Krishna consciousness movement is giving everyone a chance to engage in devotional service for at least some time. A little service will give one an impetus to advance and thus make one's life successful. In this verse, the Lord is described as Uttama Shloka. Uttama means the best, and Shloka means reputation. Lord Krishna is full in 6 opulences, one of which is reputation. Aishvaryasya samagrasya viryasya yashasaha shriya. Krishna's reputation is still expanding. We are spreading the glories of Krishna by pushing forward this Krishna consciousness movement. Krishna's reputation, 5,000 years after the battle of Kurukshetra, is still expanding throughout the world. Every important individual within this world must have heard of Krishna, especially at the present moment, due to the Krishna consciousness movement. Even people who do not like us and want to suppress the movement are also somehow or other chanting Hare Krishna. They say, the Hare Krishna people should be chastised. Such foolish people do not realize the true value of this movement, but the mere fact that they want to criticize it gives them a chance to chant Hare Krishna, and this is its success. Om Agyana Timirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamahang Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Demi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Zindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Trinadapi Sunichena Taror Iva Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Swastyastu Vishwasya Kala Prasidatam Tayantu Bhutani Shivamitu Diya Manascha Badram Bhajatat Adokshaje Aveshyatam No Matir Apya Hetukitvayi Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivas Adi Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namaham Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. So I repeat the verse. While in the prime of life, the great Maharaj Bharat gave up everything because he was fond of serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Uttama Shloka. He gave up his beautiful wife, nice children, great friends, and an enormous empire. Although these things were very difficult to give up, Maharaj Bharat was so exalted that he gave them up just as one gives up stool after evacuating. Such was the greatness of His Majesty. So before I start talking, I'm requesting your well wishes and prayers that something useful may come over my mouth. And we are in an exciting kapitel, the forest of enjoyment, and in an even greater story of the Srimad Bhagavatam. A story of Maharaj Bharat is a very exemplary story, and it contains all the necessary information why material life is temporary and should be overcome, and how one can develop attraction to this supreme personality of Godhead, and what difficulties may be there, and how the fruit of our endeavor, of our devotional activities, even carries us through many possible coming lifetimes. Yeah, as the purport is stating, this is not the only story in the Srimad Bhagavatam. We find these themes also in the story of Ajamil, or another story came to my mind of Gajendra, who remembered his pastime as as King Indradyumna, and he remembered a prayer that he knew from that time, and he offered this prayer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead when a crocodile was snatching his feet, and he was caught in a small lake and was about to die, and then God appeared and helped him. And so the essential thing in the story is that, for me at least, that Maharaj Bharat was so exalted, as the translation also says, that he came to the realization that all of his accomplishments, his beautiful wife, his nice children, his great friends, and his enormous empire are in the end temporary and material. And we also hear in many different stories of the Srimad Bhagavatam that all the saintly kings in the end, they renounced their kingdom and their family, and they went to the forest and performed activities to, in the end, attain pure devotional service and go back to Godhead. So this was also the case with Maharaj Bharat. Yeah, he also went to the forest, but his story was a little bit different. He did not directly make it like other saintly kings, but he was attracted to a deer, a pregnant deer, female. She was stumbling in a river, fell down, injured, and she had instant birth. A small child deer came to life, and I don't know if she died, I think she died. And it was left, and Maharaj Bharat, out of his compassion, took care of this little child. And in the beginning, he was still performing his devotional activities, but soon got more and more distracted by the small deer. And instead of performing his duties in devotional service, he diverted to care and to exchange loving exchange with the deer. And due to this distraction, which was only a deer, I mean, what kind of distractions we have nowadays in Kali Yuga, but he had a small baby deer, and this was enough that in the next life he got the body of a deer himself. Yeah, he was so much meditating upon this small deer child that this was enough that he got the body of a deer. Yeah, but then we come to the next very nice point in the story, is that devotional service is never lost, and whatever we do in devotional service has an eternal benefit. Yeah, there's a beautiful verse in the Bhagavad Gita 240, which was actually the first verse I learned. It was, I remember I was quite new in Simhachalam temple, and as it's normal in the beginning, I had many doubts, and I was thinking, am I really ready to renounce completely now? Because, family life or successful life in the material world was still some kind of attractive for me, and I was revealing my mind to a devotee, Bala Govinda Prabhu from Golokadam. He was there, he visited, and he was serving prasad, and I asked him while he was serving, and then he said, yeah, like every little thing that you do in devotional life, it's way better than everything material you could ever do. Yeah, because everything material, it has a beginning and an end, and everything that you do spiritually, there's a spiritual bank account. It can only be frozen, but it never vanishes. Yeah, everything that you do, it adds on the situation, and you have an eternal benefit from this. This verse 240. Niha vikramana shusti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayato mahato bhayat. In this endeavor there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. And Srila Prabhupada is purporting this verse that the most dangerous type of fear is gliding down again in lower species of life. As we see here in the story of Maharaj Bharat, what happened to him. And yeah, even though he glided down, his devotional service was not lost. It's said that due to the mercy of Lord Krishna, he remembered everything from his past life, and he became aware of his situation. Usually, an animal in an animal body, it doesn't know about his situation. It's just living, more or less. But when someone who is spiritually advanced goes back to this life form, but through the mercy of the Lord, he can remember his past life, which usually we are not able to. Yeah, also Gajendra was remembering his past life, and so did Maharaj Bharat do. And instead of leading a normal social deer life, he went back to the area where he was performing tapasya before in the forest, and he more or less continued. It's not really mentioned what he did, but maybe he did Manasa Puja, I don't know. And in the next life he became Jada Bharat, and it's explained he was then so cautious, because he also remembered the birth as a deer, that he really didn't want to take another birth again. Yeah, he really wanted to make sure that this is not going to happen again, and in order to protect himself from disturbing influences, he restrained himself from society. Yeah, he played as if dumb, as if he is retarded, and the people they avoided him, and then he had the freedom to not being taken as a valuable member of the society, and didn't indulge him in material activities. Yeah. Later on, then he met this king, which was in the last chapter, who then realized his saintly qualities after he was not perfectly serving him by carrying his, what's the name in the English, palanquin. Yeah, he was supposed to help carrying the palanquin because one worker, he was sick or something, or broke his leg, or I don't know. And then they took him, but because there were ants on the floor and he had the spiritual vision that they are also all spiritual soul, he was stumbling around them, and this was very annoying to the king, carried on the palanquin. So then they had a conversation, and through the conversation, through the preaching of Jada Bharat about eternal philosophy, Sanatana Dharma, the king became great astonished and amazed by Jada Bharat, and prayed for forgiveness, understood directly that he is a great saint, and feared that he made an offense toward him, and became instructed by him about spiritual life. Yeah, so this is also a very beautiful example how in all kinds of strange life circumstances, if we preach the Krishna conscious philosophy, we can experience wonders. Yeah. Yeah. And then the purport wonderfully closes with the description of the Lord as Uttama Shloka, the best, he has the best reputation, Aishvaryasya Samagrasya, and that Krishna's reputation is still expanding, and that we in the Krishna consciousness moving are giving especially stress on this point. And now I wanted to melt what are the key learning points in this story with book distribution, because we are right now in a book distribution seminar. And also yesterday I had a beautiful conversation with Dina Doyal Prabhu in this regard, and it directly came to my mind. Because we are all in the process, and more or less we want to become free from material attachments and karma mishra bhakti, that we still mix our devotional service with our material desires. And in this regard I wanted to quote something from the Srimad Bhagavatam I found very nice, and which is also fitting to the story, like how to conquer Lord Krishna. And there's a verse in the 7th canto, chapter 14, text 12, where it is said that one so seriously considers one's wife to be his own that he sometimes kills himself for her or kills others, including even his parents or his spiritual master or teacher. Therefore, if one can give up his attachment to such a wife, he conquers the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is never conquered by anyone. And the purport even further describes that to give up one's connection with his wife is extremely difficult, but if one can somehow or other give it up for the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then the Lord himself, although not able to be conquered by anyone, comes very much under the control of the devotee. And if the Lord is pleased with the devotee, what is there that is unobtainable? Why should one not give up his affection for his wife and children and take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Where is the loss of anything material? Householder life means attachment for one's wife, whereas sannyas means detachment from one's wife and attachment to Krishna. So more or less the goal is to become more and more attached to Krishna, and therefore because we are always active, we have to exchange our activities from mixed activities or self-interested activities to more selfless activities and more activities that are related to the Lord and give us more taste. Because we cannot stop being active, and Bhagavad Gita says in this regard that Mangchayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityatan brahma bhuyaya kalpate, that one who is fully engaged in devotional service, who does not fall down in any circumstance, at once transcends the modes of nature and comes to the level of Brahman. So the only hope, so to say, the only remedy is to being fully engaged 24 hours in Krishna's service. This was also what devotees were asking Srila Prabhupada. What is the greatest service, or what should we do? And many thought he would say book distribution, because always also book distributor were asking, but then a surprising answer came, more or less. Srila Prabhupada said that no matter what, stay 24 hours a day engaged in Krishna's service. And this is, helping you to stay on in devotional activities, this is helping you to say to not fall down, to stay connected to the Lord, to slowly getting purified, to think of Him, to stay connected with the devotees, not go away and have material association, which in fact was one of the reasons why Maharaj Bharat fell down, it is said. He only fell down because he had no association. Yeah, he was alone in the forest, and there was no one to correct him. Yeah, no one who was there and telling him, hey, look, I mean, it's nature, and you're maybe over the limits caring too much about this deer. There was no one who was able to reflect him. Yeah, so staying in the association of devotees and also staying in the service to them is sheltering us from falling down. Yeah, it's also said that I told it Maike Mataji yesterday that there is this bhakti lata in our heart, and this is a symbol for our personal devotional service, and this creeper needs to be nourished by the chanting of the holy name. This is the water, and the fence to protect the creeper is devotee association. Yeah, this will always shelter us from that the plant gets smashed by a white elephant or something. Yeah, and the fertilizer is visiting holy places, by the way. It's also very interesting. I found out at the beginning of the year, someone told me. So if we visit holy places, then this bhakti lata in our heart gets nourished and gets strong, that it can grow up to the Goloka Vrindavan. Yeah, and I found a very, very nice quote from by Sheshika Prabhu. I'm reading right now The Treasures of the Brihad Mridanga, and this I can really recommend, this book. There are several books on book distribution. I handed already some out to you, like All Glories to the Sankirtan Devotees from Harikesh Prabhu, and Nectar of Book Distribution from all the Sankirtan devotees together compiled. And yeah, this is a book where Vijay Prabhu was asked to gather all his miraculous and wonderful encounters on the street with people he met. And also book distributors and personalities, great personalities in the mission of Srila Prabhupada, he left comments. And I wanted to read this from the chapter Many Benefits of Book Distribution from Vaisheshika Das. In the second canto, Lord Brahma says that you get 3 benefits from Krishna consciousness or from surrendering to the holy name. What sales experts tells us is that people buy the benefits. So Brahma names 3 benefits we will get from Krishna consciousness. The first is Bhava Chidam. We get free of material life and all our suffering is cut. Second, we get Susukham. We experience the highest, most complete happiness. And third, we obtain Sumangalam, or complete auspiciousness. In summary, we get good fortune, complete happiness, and freedom from miseries. Imagine if you had a bottle of pills and someone asked, what do you get when you take a pill? You then answer, I get freedom from all miseries, complete happiness, and unlimited good fortune. Who would not want to take those pills? You could sell a lot of them. That's why people take drugs, and even though there are side effects, they think, that's good enough for me, I will take it. We have the ultimate drug without side effects, only benefits. So we are offering this. This is our program. Yeah, and especially book distribution is considered very, very dear to Lord Krishna and Srila Prabhupada. There are very well-known verses at the end of Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says that the one who explains this knowledge to my devotees is the most dear to me. And our Yuga avatar, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, went further and said, Yade dekatahaka Krishna upadesh, amara agyaya guru hanatara desh. So everyone you meet, you should instruct and tell about the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, and therefore become a spiritual master your own. Try to deliver everyone in your land. Yeah, so it is not something meant only for, rare people. Everyone can qualify to distribute this knowledge and become himself a spiritual master, and this is especially desired by the Lord, because everyone who does it, he puts something on top to the Sankirtan mission, and it's like exponentially growing. Like, how else could be the holy name chanted in every town and village? How else could we fulfill the Shishi Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki, Shishi Gaurnitai ki. Yeah, how else could we fulfill the prediction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu if we ourselves not engage in being part? There's a beautiful picture where Lord Chaitanya is picking the ripe mango fruits, and he says, help me, I cannot distribute them all my own. And he's asking his disciples, you also distribute, please help me. And there's also a nice saying where once Srila Prabhupada was asked, like, why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared not here, or why didn't he do it there, and the answer was that, he left it for us. It's not that he was supposed to deliver the whole world. We are also expansions of him, and he left something for us. And there's so much to preach outside. So many cities where the holy name is not yet chanted, so many cities without a center, without a temple, without devotees, and it's very exciting to be part. And Mahavishnu Swami once said in a lecture that the Pancha Tattva is directly present at a place where no one else preached before. And he's personally going to very remote places in Africa. And then I thought, then I know why you are doing this. You are greedy for the nectar to have association with the Pancha Tattva there. So this is the essence, more or less, that because we are doing what is so difficult, and it's said that holy saints, they voluntarily accept suffering. For the benefit of all human society, they are ready to go through hardships, and that this is attracting the Lord very, very much. And this gives also great satisfaction and pleasure. And we are open to do this, and through the media of book distribution, which is some kind of expansion of the Sankirtan movement, by chanting the holy names, as the title says, the Brihat Mridanga, as we all know, the progression of the disciplic succession through the printing of the professional printing of books, expanded into the possibility to be even more successful in spreading the glories of the Lord through printed media. We can practice this by going on the street and distributing books, because every book is connecting the people with Guru, Srila Prabhupada, Shastra, the teachings of the Lord, the revealed scriptures, and the saints that are us. We are also practitioners. We are also trying to follow in the footsteps. And in this morning, I stumbled over something interesting in the Guru Vandana, where it said in the right beginning, the lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. I bow down to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. And this reminded me how vigorously, thank you, how vigorously Srila Prabhupada was following this order of his spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, who was only desiring If you get some money, print books. Yeah, and we all know how seriously Srila Prabhupada took this to his heart and wholeheartedly pushed book distribution in a never known way before. I mean, so many books were written, translated, distributed until today. It's never, it cannot be compared to anything that happened before in the past. And one very nice result of the book distribution is the building of the Vedic Planetarium, the biggest religious building in the world. All the Lakshmi that had been collected from book distribution, parts were used to build this enormous building. Yeah, so it's said that it's an all-auspicious activity. Sankirtan, a yagya, means by how we can satisfy the Lord in this dark age, and a very powerful means to engage devotees in general. Yeah, not only us, by filling up the book trolley, going out, studying in themselves. Yeah, it's very close connected to devotional service with the methods of hearing and chanting. So we read the books ourselves, we hear, and then we directly practice it and chant and go on the street and distribute it to others. Yeah, in the beginning time it was even more pushed that even newcomers who never really read the books, they went on the street and they were asked to distribute them. And even though they had practically no knowledge, it worked. Yeah, they felt transcendental happiness like never before, and and people took the books and they could experience something far beyond, because they were attracting through their service the mercy of the whole Guru Parampara. And in this regard, I wanted to read one more closing. Nice paragraph from this book. Yeah, maybe I close with a letter from Srila Prabhupada, and Vijay Prabhu says that this is his favorite letter in general from Srila Prabhupada. It's stated in London. My dear Prabhu Vishnu, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge receipt of your letter dated January the 1st, 1973, and I'm very glad to hear from you the wonderful news of traveling party in England. I think the people of that place are becoming more and more inclined for this Krishna consciousness movement. They are inviting you to stay at their houses. They are taking books, becoming sometimes devotees. All of these are very encouraging signs to me. Always without anxiety for destination and comfortable situations, always relying only on the mercy of Krishna for your plan, just go on preaching his message and selling his books wherever there is interest. We shall not waste time if there is no interest or if the people are unfriendly. There are so many places to go, but I understand from your letter that practically everyone is taking some interest. That means you are presenting the thing in a very nice manner. They can detect that here are some persons who are actually sincere and nice. Let me hear them. Let me purchase one book. So I can understand that it is not an easy matter to travel extensively over long periods of time without proper food, rest, and sometimes it must be very cold there also. And still, because you're getting so much enjoyment, spiritual enjoyment from it, it seems like play to you. That is advanced stage of spiritual life, never attained by even the greatest yogis and so-called jnanis. But let any man see our devotees working so hard for Krishna, then let anyone say that they are not better than any millions of so-called yogis and transcendentalists. That is my challenge. Because you are rightly understanding through your personal realization this philosophy of Krishna consciousness, therefore, in such a short time, you have surpassed all the stages of yoga processes to come to the highest point of surrendering to Krishna. That I can very much appreciate. Thank you very much for helping me in this way. Hoping this meets you and the other men of your party in the best of health and spirits. Your ever well-wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Jai. Yeah, and then the question may arise, okay, but how to come to this perfect stage? Yeah, because when we practically go on book distribution, the thing that we experience in the beginning is always very austere. So many no's. Yeah, the people can be nasty or even very neglectful, and we may be shy or doubtful ourselves, and so on and so on and so on. And then, yeah, because it's a little bit hard in the beginning, most people cannot stay enthusiastic because it's draining for them. And first I want to share a quote here and then something personal and then a quote how to overcome it. This is a quote from a 1971 Sankirtan newsletter. Recently, in an all-out program to sell books, the San Francisco Temple has been averaging 20 Krishna books per day distribution. What is their technique? Keshava Prabhu, the temple president, says, simply we make it our priority activity. All you have to do is want to do it, and then try as hard as you can. Everywhere we go, we carry BTGs and Krishna books on street Sankirtan party, door to door, to the laundromat, to the store, everywhere. We have been taxing our brains in so many fancy and complicated ways to try to increase sales, but as it has been experienced, nothing is more successful than simply taking the books personally in hand and going door to door with this causeless mercy. Yeah, and this I experience also again and again on book distribution. Every day new, even I do it for 5.5 years almost, is always again the situation that I feel completely helpless and foolish and unable to give something, and they're maybe passing hours in the beginning where nothing is happening, nobody taking, and I start to think, oh, maybe it's me the problem, maybe I'm a rascal, or I did something wrong, or I offended Krishna, or this, or that, and that. But if I just continue doing it, for sure with the right attitude, we know Vaishnava qualities should be more humble than a blade of grass, tolerant as a tree, and so on. And if you practice this and just go on and asking the people, then something magically is happening. Then you attract the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, the Guru Parampara, Radha and Krishna, and then you become more and more aloof from the reactions of the people. And this is basically all what is Bhagavad Gita teaching us about. Do your duty, not for self-interest, but for Krishna. Sukha dukhe same kritva labha labho jaya jayo tato yudhaya yuchasva nevang papam avapsasi. Do thou fight for the sake of fighting, without considering happiness or distress, loss or gain, victory or defeat. For by so doing you shall never incur sin. And through this we become situated on the Brahman platform, and we become happy and ecstatic. And because we are then situated in the platform of more and more pure devotional service, Krishna is more present, and the people become attracted because Krishna is present. And out of the sudden, people come from everywhere. I had a moment yesterday, 1.5 hours was so difficult. I was so doubting, and it was no fun really. It was really austere. And then I was with Dina Dayal Prabhu, and one person after another, like 3 or 4 persons after another we were approaching, they all knew the Hare Krishnas, they all were very favorable, they wanted to come to the Sunday program, they took a book, they gave a donation, it was really miraculous. So there was one Mataji, she said, Srila Prabhupada tricked me. I was not doing it for the people, this book distribution. In the end I realized I saved myself. Because it's a wonderful medium to stay connected in Krishna consciousness, to meditate upon Krishna, to relish his teachings, to give the teachings to others, and through this we become purified and we become situated on a pure devotional service platform. If we do it to the rest of our life, Srila Prabhupada gave the promise, if you distribute books to the end of your life, I will personally wait there and take you by the hand to the spiritual world. Yeah, so what greater motivation could be there? Okay, I end here. Hare Krishna. You have some comments or a question or a joke? Yeah.
I actually have. Should I take the microphone or which one?
Is there a microphone?
Yesterday.
It's necessary.
Yeah. Well, okay. Then I come back to your speech.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if I really understood why one is saved from the crocodile and the other is dying in the middle of a river. Is it about karma, or is it about devotion, or is it just the supreme decision of Krishna? That's my question.
Yeah, it's a nice question. Thank you. Yeah, well, this is a world of death. It said this is the planet of death. The material world is continuously taking birth, old age, disease, and death in the end. So it's nothing special. It's awaiting every one of us. And the only thing that makes the difference is our level of spiritual realization. It's said that souls who are surpassing the animalistic kingdom and the plants, who are not spiritually advanced, it's for them more an automatically process. It's not a conscious process, but only by getting born in one species, dying, and getting born in new species, they make advancement slowly, step to step. And yeah, if we wouldn't have access to devotional service, this would be also the case for us. But Srila Prabhupada describes that pure devotional service is considered, or bhakti yoga, like an elevator. Yeah, instead of taking every single step, we take the elevator to the highest spiritual position without the necessity of considering every single step. So if we are fortunate enough to come in contact with devotional service, we should be very cautious as Maharaj Bharat to not lose this opportunity, because it's the greatest opportunity for our personal evolution of the soul to make the quickest advancement and to reach the ultimate destination, the topmost spiritual planet, Goloka Vrindavan. And as we heard, the means of book distribution or performing Harinam Sankirtan, spreading the glories of the Lord, is the most direct way to do it. And did I answer it, or is something? Why the difference between the deer and? Okay, yeah, it's just the state of mind of the soul in this stage. Okay. Like the mother deer, most probably. I mean, why else? There's no story around her. Maybe there is a story around her. We don't know, but. Why the Lord is not helping her, or is more related to karma. Yeah, karma is like a law, our laws of nature, that this world is designed practically in such a way that we automatically make advancement through suffering in material situations. And because we want to be happy, we come to think and we want to change our situation. So Prithu Prabhu once visited Simhachalam, and he said the most crucial point in our philosophy, why it's outstanding in relation to the Christians, for example, he was telling a story that there was one little girl, and there's an online interview on YouTube, and she was talking to the Pope. and she was telling him that her whole family got killed by a great incident where a big flood came and all of them were killed. And she was sitting there and she was saying, yeah, but why did this happen? Why is allowing God such a thing? Yeah, and he said, that the Pope said, my dear child, I also don't know. I would like to know it, but I cannot tell you. Yeah, and then said Prithu Prabhu, yeah, they cannot tell because they don't have a conception of a soul and of reincarnation. Yeah, because without this conception, things seem whimsically. Yeah, no reason. Yeah, God is shaking dices, or I don't know. Why should it happen? Why should someone without a reason suffer in one situation, and in another one, like Gajendra, he prays to the Lord and he shows the lotus, and the Lord is directly coming on Garuda and picking him up.
He's putting it in the hand of humans.
Yeah, I mean, destiny, like a flood, is. He didn't have an answer. He said he cannot answer. For sure, we cannot also in detail answer it, but from the philosophical point of that we are all spirit souls, and everything that is happening, Bhagavatam describes it throughout, everything is happening through a reason. Everything is very diligently strict rules of karma. Nothing is happening by accident. Yeah, everything is arrangement of the Lord, and everything should be seen as the mercy of the Lord, bringing us closer to him. Yeah, so the reason why a child grows up in Africa, he has to starve, he is sick, he has to die very early, is not because God doesn't care and just decides that this soul has to suffer and another not. The reason is he did something in his previous life that made him to go through these experiences himself as a counteraction of his own sinful habits and to evolve in his spiritual evolution. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Welcome. Yeah?
Thank you for your lecture and explanation for the distribution, but I have a point that if we're not so deep in our knowledge, we could take your lecture as a call to just dump the family as like rubbish and gone for the distribution.
Mm-hmm.
Because the verses were like quite strong, like yeah, it's best to just give up your family, and then you were emphasizing that of course it's true that every single thing that we are doing in devotional service is eternal, but you feel things don't last so long, but then not to take it as a call to give up because things were happening,
Mm-hmm.
they just left their families and they did some beautiful service and then they're not more happy.
Well, I will answer it from my point of view, and I would be really happy if the senior devotees also maybe add something to the situation. But as far as I can understand, for sure, maybe devotees, they have devotional families, and there it's probably something else. But the ultimate protector of a family is Krishna himself. And we cannot even protect our child, our home, our wife and everything. And for sure it's said if you can practice Krishna consciousness in a family, there's no need to leave the family. It's also a perfect ashrama. The home is a temple. Yeah, you are worshipping Krishna on your altar at home. You're inviting people to chant Hare Krishna. Everything is fine in that situation. And but it's also advised in the Shastra that if your family life is detrimental to your spiritual growth and distracting you from your spiritual duties, you should neglect them and leave, because what is the use of a little bit material security when at the end all of them, including myself, they don't go back to Godhead? Yeah. It's said that if you become a perfect devotee, then you release 7 generations up and down, and they go with you to the spiritual world. So what greater accomplishment could be there when you just maintain your family life for material security, but in the end everyone has to die anyhow and nothing is gained. I'm sure there's no black and white, and there's a whole rainbow of different situations, like also in the Bhagavatam, according time, place, and circumstances. But I think it's depending on if you really can practice in your if the family life is centered around developing Krishna consciousness. Yeah, that's what I would say. Would you like to add something, Krishna Prabhu, Rupa Prabhu? And also this beautiful verse of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, where he says that we should, similar like someone has a lover and always meditating on the lover, but doing his duties very nicely, that no one thinks that he is in connection with the lover. We should meditate on Krishna as our lover while performing our duties. But on the other hand, there's also like a quote where it said that if you are engaged in pure devotional service, then you have no, yeah, that's the point. Yeah, then you have no obligations towards the state, towards the family, towards elders, no, not elders, but yeah, to all these things. But yeah, that's the point. Who is really, yeah. 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 Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. I'm sorry that this came up, that it was for you like this. I didn't want to stress this point so much. I just wanted to encourage to book this devotion. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was just thinking one could get this impression.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why we have question and answer session.
Yeah. Yeah. Something else someone would to add to the situation? You, Mataji?
So at some point, everybody should give up everything, or is it?
As far as I understand, anyway, everyone has to give up everything at the time of death. I mean, yeah, when you leave your body, you cannot take anything with you. That's the.
I just meant like family and everything. Everybody should renounce.
I think his answer was very good. Death will take away everything. So the idea is before death comes and takes you away, you voluntarily start to let go.
Thanks for clarifying.
Also, we should try to give up the material association because materialistic people they bring you down. Should always have association of devotees.
Shai.
Hare Krishna.
Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki.